a reboot of classic 90s TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer was announced in July, when The Hollywood Reporter announced original creator Joss Whedon was due to be executive producer on a new inclusive take of the story. The new showrunner will be Monica Owusu-Breen, who has worked on Alias and Lost as well as with Whedon on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So far no release date has not been announced, as the idea is being shopped around networks. Many fans took to Twitter to express their disgust at the idea of the reboot. One wrote, "I do not care for a Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot unless it's about another Slayer. The original series was perfect, they don't need to redo it. Can we get over this reboot era? I'm bored of it." Another took aim at the diverse take of the reboot, tweeting, "I loved Buffy. But you know what else I love? When Hollywood looks at new stories by people of color instead of rebooting old ones and changing the casting." This reaction seems slightly ironic given the fact that Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which aired on defunct channel the WB, now the CW, from 1997 to 2003, was itself a reboot of a flop film of the same name, starring Kristy Swanson as Buffy and Donald Sutherland as her watcher Merrick. However, some were more positive. Kristen Russo, presenter of the acclaimed Buffy podcast Buffering the Vampire Slayer, told theexpress.co.uk, "I am cautiously optimistic. I think that Monica Owusu-Breen's recent statement took me from a place of, 'Oh God, no, please don't touch this perfect thing,' to feeling like it may very well be in the hands of people who can powerfully reshape some of the most integral parts of the show and its characters within the context of our current world." She added, "Nothing will ever be the Buffy that was born in 1996, and I think any fan knows that well. But I don't want to close the door to something that might be beautiful and powerful in its own right. So, we will see." Amanda Hennessy and Andrea Westaway, hosts of the Tiny Fences podcast, agree. They said, Monica Owusu-Breen tweeted that it would be a whole new Slayer, dealing with all new situations 20 years after the finale of the original series, so we're much more excited to see what the series, should it go forward, will hold. A new version of Buffy the Vampire Slayer is in development. Image, Getty. No official casting announcements have been made. However, Hollywood Reporter have stated that the show will star a black actor in the role made famous by Sarah Michelle Gellar in 1997. Russo said that her ideal casting would be POC, people of color, and queer actors. At the helm, Nashville's Jen Richards or Nanette comedian Hannah Gadsby or Orange is the New Black's Samira Wiley as a watcher. The podcaster was not the only person to suggest Gadsby for a role in the reboot. One Twitter user shared an image of Anthony Stewart Head, who played Giles in the original series, alongside Gadsby, with the caption, "Okay, so hear me out on the Buffy reboot." Other fans, however, did not want to see the show recast. One Twitter user pointed out the similarity between Anthony Stewart Head and Hannah Gadsby. Image, Twitter. When Buffy the Vampire Slayer left TV in 2003, the series continued as a series of comic books, and many have suggested new episodes should be based on these and feature the original actors. The Tiny Fences hosts told Express.co.uk, "All the original actors, and if they can't come back to reprise their role, then don't bother." Another Twitter user wrote, "Why not continue the universe's story? There's so much to build up off from." The original series featured a groundbreaking relationship between Willow and Tara. Image, the CW. Buffy is probably our most ripe show for a remake. Gary Newman, CEO of Fox. No plot details have emerged, though many have been pointing out that the events of recent years it is time to bring back the show, which was set in a quiet California town that was actually the entrance to a hellmouth. In March, Fox's CEO Gary Newman said, "Buffy is probably our most ripe show for a remake. It's something we talk about frequently." Hennessy and Westaway also told us that a reboot would have to engage with our changed modern world. They said, "Well, the world's a much scarier place than it was in the 90s, and while the original show didn't really look outside of Sunnydale, I think since the new Slayer's set to be a woman of color, there's definitely an opportunity to explore that a bit more. The original show was very white, and I'm looking forward to more a diverse cast and the stories that can arise from that." The podcast's hosts also hoped the show would be better at tackling LGBT issues. Although the original series featured a groundbreaking lesbian relationship between Willow, played by Allison Hannigan, and Tara Amber Benson, LGBT representation has moved on in the 15 years since Buffy ended. I think they can do much better with LGBT issues this time around, said Hennessy and Westaway, as they're far less taboo on our TVs nowadays. Russo also joked that her dream storyline was the love story between Buffy, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Faith, Eliza Dushku, that we all deserve. Kristen Russo would like to see a Buffy and Faith relationship in the reboot. Image, the CW, a promo for the upcoming series has not yet been released. Buffy fans in the US, however, can watch the original series on streaming platform Hulu.